generalize that we can make a conclusion. Okay? So I believe the first and the most discussed point is, well, uniforms. So when you look at the slides, okay? So thank you very much. So who has to voice his or her opinion about the uniforms? You'll take a moment. Which one do you like to start? Okay, thank you.
A lot of people don't know that many primary and secondary schools have their own uniforms. Schools want very good quality items in order to have nice uniforms and to advertise the school. However, they don't think about families that have financial problems. Let's agree with you, uniforms aren't very cheap. They are much more expensive than good casual clothes. Also, as children grow up very fast, you need a new uniform every year. So they will be even more expensive. And uniforms aren't for non-school use. So parents end up buying double. They buy casual clothes and uniforms. And it gets very expensive. But if uniform gets untidy, so parents have to take it to the dry cleaning, which is also expensive, and they will be even more expensive. So you can save what? More and more and more expensive on uniforms, and it will never end. I think that I said the most important disadvantage of uniforms.
Okay, so do you guys agree? So I will look at the position size. Do you agree with it? No? Okay, so.
So you said that uniforms cost more than casual clothes. You don't have to buy a uniform every year. As for example, why would a girl's parents buy her a new skirt every year if she doesn't grow out of her old one? So yeah. Uniforms remove the opportunity for the pressure to spend money on labels, and they reduce costs for parents as they do not have to replace the wardrobes every few months to follow the latest fashion trends. Teens tend to stand out in the crowd. They often color their hair, they do body and face piercings, they get lots of makeup and song. They want to express their individuality, so they get obsessed with clothes and their appearance. Especially, all schools have those girls who think they're the best, who think they're cute. Usually they're popular and of course the most stylish ones. What if she comes to school and sees someone dressed better than her? She'll get mad and will begin a war using her parents' money. So, school shouldn't be a place like for cocky divas, and it's not models' podium or prom club. School should encourage stylists and discipline in its pupils. So, on my opinion, I think that uniforms really help there because they reduce costs for parents, and also other students don't get annoyed by deals.
So I'm satisfied with the uniform.
Yeah, I like my uniforms.
So do you think the uniform of our school is beautiful and suits the girls who wear it?
Yeah, I think you suit them. And also, a lot of people, like, when I meet a lot of people in the street or somewhere, they're like, oh my god, your uniform looks beautiful. Do all students wear like that? And I'm like, yes. And they say, that's beautiful. You look really good at it. And I think all students look good at it. So,
Okay,
yeah.
so you like to wear the uniform.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not the case with the boys.
And I agree with you that there are a lot of other bad things about uniforms, and what I find the most is that it's comfortable. It doesn't allow you to move really, so if you're very uncomfortable when walking, playing out in the basically lessons or doing that any other kind of activities. And for example, in our school, during the free time, a lot of students play basketball, table tennis, and uniforms make these things much harder because they restrict movement. As well as that, it is much
want a uniform that is comfortable, you can buy it for your size. And those casual clothes that you've mentioned, they are not that comfortable. For example, girls usually like to wear skinny jeans, but they are not really comfortable. And imagine if everyone dresses in different colors and you'll have to write a test riding with them, you want to concentrate on what you're doing. I mean, if someone in front of you wears neon pink shirt and someone next to you is wearing a sparkling jacket, you will be distracted and you won't write the test well. Don't you think so? I think uniforms would really help here.
Okay, so do you guys tell something to comfort students?
Yes. The third reason is that school uniforms restrict our creativity and block the ability to be different and unique and force you to fit in a crowd. A lot of students disapprove of uniforms because they get bored of wearing same clothes every day. While wearing uniforms, we are not able to show our expressions, our originality, our differences, and since we all look the same, white shirts, dark jackets, it's like going to prison. Even though a lot of people think that uniforms grant bullying, it often does not. For example, if a student lives in a hot-living family, goes to school with an untidy uniform, or wears same clothes for several years, he may be bullied and feel very bad about it. So, as a result, many schools do not have uniforms, while still demanding certain standards of dress. They prohibit jeans, short skirts, any sportswear, and other obscene clothes. So it may be a better choice for all schools to set a specific dress code and let people buy things they can afford.
Well, I have a different idea. So, first of all, you said that uniforms restrict creativity and deny the ability to be different and unique. Well, our school has a solution. At least once a month, our school students have the day without uniforms with a special dress code. And on that day, they can really express themselves and express their individuality and creativity. Besides that, I think that a school should encourage shyness and discipline its pupils. Secondly, you said that uniforms don't prevent bullying, but I think it's really a good opportunity for fashion-related bullying because you're forced to fit in with the crowd. Like, for example, imagine what will happen to a child from hardly-living family, which will go to a school where nobody wears uniforms. How will that child feel? All the pupils that are from different social backgrounds, the fancy ones, they will start bullying him, laughing at him. The child will lose confidence. He will be afraid to go to school. He will feel unsafe. What if his friends will start doing the same? He will sure feel lonely. All of these things can lead to a depression. I'm sorry for being too dramatic, but as I have said, uniforms don't point out our differences and it really makes us fit in with the crowd. Also, if we devote too much time for the things we wear, we don't have enough time left for our homework.
And of course, we were satisfied with the homework because we spent too much time doing it. Okay, so you are the most persistent composer. Okay.
So why are homework so bad? Well, first, students will grow bored if they are required to spend too much time on homework. Homework can actually lead to cheating. For example, through the copying of assignments. So maybe we should do all our classwork in class instead of working alone hours at home. The answer is yes, because a Stanford researcher, Dennis found that too much homework can negatively affect students. They experience more stress, physical health problems, and the lack of social activities. Secondly, teachers often underestimate how long a task will take, or even set an unrealistic deadline. And there might not be only one teacher. Think about 3 or even 4 of them. And after that, pupils must suffer punishments if work is done badly or late. Moreover, all the students have found no positive relationship between the amount of homework set and average test scores. Students in Japan and Denmark get little homework, but score very well on tests. Finally, many governments make their schools give students a national test. Then they compare results and punish those who did it badly. That's why teachers give them more and more homework. Not for better understanding the topic, but for better reputation and doing well in national exam. And only now we understand that homework isn't designed to help the student, just their teachers in schools who want them to win the test and make them look good. So think again, is homework good or bad? After these facts, I don't want to do them anymore, because it's a waste of time, it doesn't expand your knowledge, it may cause backbone or eyes problems.
So, okay, so can I answer sincerely, do you always do your homework?
Yes, I always do my homework, but I don't want to do them personally. But I must.
Okay, so girls are more diligent, they tend to be more diligent and prepare questions.
I totally disagree with you. In that school, children need to do homework without exceptions. And most of them probably would say that they hate doing it. But after all, homework is very good for children, and there are many reasons to believe. First of all, working at home gives a child the possibility to learn how to study without outside help. Because when you grow up, there won't be any moms or teachers in your home, and you will have to do everything alone. It's also very good because you can understand what's still difficult for you and learn it better. Homework also helps to prepare for exams, and by doing homework, you can go to, for example, college, usually high school in the next year because you will write exams good. And by doing homework, you also learn how to plan your time. And if you can do that, I can say that your life becomes better and easier. You won't forget anything, you'll always work in time. So my thoughts are that homework is really very good.
So in your opinion, homework is a skill to perform well in exams. Okay.
Of course, the most common way to prepare for exams is homework. But in first place, we would like to make clear that we understand the importance of the exams. Yes, they are very important and often very difficult. Therefore, they are cause of the immense stress. What if you don't pass? What if you fail? So many questions bother you to feel totally blank by them and before everything you know. So, can you tell me how these exams will affect your knowledge? This is why we're against them, and we think that exams should be abolished, or at least exam systems should be changed. The first reason, as I have already mentioned, the exams are not healthy for students. When students hear of upcoming exams, it usually means that when they get home that night, they feel depressed and worried about how well they will do, and they often start comparing themselves to other students. When they begin learning, they often don't stop till midnight, which leaves them sleep deprived the next day and does not allow performing well. The National Sleep Foundation did their research and found that only 15% of teens reported sleeping 8 or 5 hours on school nights. Not having enough sleep causes more than 100,000 car crashes every year. Besides, the exam does not measure your memory. They do not measure your intellect. They measure your memory. I think that exam system is unfair to people who have studied hard but have a poor memory for facts and figures. Nowadays, students are called not clever if they do not recall some history dates or math rules. For example, can you answer when the storming of Bastille took place? You see? Okay. Why a student that is very clever, higher IQ than most, and is answering questions every lesson, gets a lower grade than a student who started learning 2 or 3 months before the exam? It is not fair, right? For example, my friend is good at English, but if I asked him to translate some phrase verbs, he would translate just 25% of them. Don't worry, just give him some time to revise it, hand him an exam paper, and he could do it within a minute or 2. That shows that exams are unfair, and all they do is segregate students into the ones with good and bad memory. To sum up, I want to say that exams should be abolished because they are unfair and they only measure your memory. I think that your grade should reflect your effort, cleverness, diligence, and and enthusiasm to learn. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, so if we have to evaluate you, model, so which part would you take? Would you be the one with the good memory or the one with the good understanding? So
I
I'll
think
evaluate
I will choose the good understanding.
good understanding. So we have core head for facts and figures.
Actually, I have a good head for facts and figures, but if I had the right to choose between a good memory and good intelligence, I would choose good intelligence because memory isn't so important in your life that intellect is.
Okay, thank you. You can do it.
I disagree with you, and it's very nice in my opinion to agree on the importance of exam. So, in following reasons, I would show that exams are not harmful, but even in some kind of way they are helpful. So first of all, I would like to point that exams, students prepare for exams not a day, not a month, but all their time in school. If students would do their homework and would learn things that they need to learn, they wouldn't be so stressed. Stress comes from fear of failure, to fail the exam. Because of course students wouldn't be students if they wouldn't feel a little bit stressed. But there is a good side. Stress can help us to remember facts dates in exam. Also, there is no point of learning in the last day to midnight when you have learned everything in past credits. So it is, as it is said, what you haven't learned, there is no way that you're going to learn in the last night. So automatically, good pupils won't be sleep deprived and they will show their best in exam. Furthermore, who said that exam questions are made to test your knowledge only? Why exam questions cannot test your memory as well? I think exams requires both. What will mean memory without knowledge and what will mean knowledge without memory? Nothing. So students who don't learn won't get good grades even if they have a perfect memory. But what should do students who have very bad memory? They can train by learning math rules, history dates, and doing other memory exercises. So in conclusion, my opinion is leave the exams as they are now because they show your students current knowledge and it doesn't harm their health, but just help to fight the stress. Thank you.
Okay, so did you experience stress, for example, did you experience stress before your exams when you had this grade?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot stress.
You are not that laid back right now during the lessons.
I feel stressed now.
Okay, and Dominicus comes with this scandalous idea of segregating school into two single-sex departments, so Dominica.
So, the next thing I would want to change in my school is the way of learning. I think it would be so much better if boys and girls studied separately. I talk about single gender education. For some of us, single-sex teaching might be the relic of the old days, but in my opinion, segregated pupils would significantly improve the results. In the UK, single-sex teaching predominantly takes place in the private sector, and as we all know, private schools are the best. Our school is also a private institution, so my suggestion would be to divide it into two single-sex departments. I want to recommend it for several reasons and explain the benefits at the same time. So how will we benefit? The first way, we will benefit from different teaching techniques. There are significant differences in the ways girls and boys learn. The first thing that matters is how long they can sit still, be quiet, and pay attention. Besides, there are also gender-specific personality traits which affect how children learn. Education psychologists have found that girls tend to have higher standards in the classroom and evaluate their performance more critically. Sad is the same for boys. Girls outperform boys in school in all subjects and in all age groups. The girls tend to be excessively critical while evaluating themselves, whereas the boys think that they are brilliant. Consequently, the most basic difference in teaching style for girls versus boys is that teachers can encourage the girls, build them up, while leaving the boys to rely on the check, make them realize that they're not as brilliant as they think they are, and challenge them to do better. Moreover, statistics have found
known these assumptions to be true. For example, in Australia, 270,000 students perform significantly higher on standardized tests when they attend a single-gender school. And besides, perhaps less significant advantage is that students tend to feel more free among peers of the same gender. Talking about social issues, boys are often led to show off and even sexually harass girls. It's actually not the case in our school, but possibility always exists. So in conclusion, I want to say that it will be high time to experiment with single-gender schools in Lithuania because of the following reasons: significantly higher performance, mutilation of secret people skills, and of course social issues.
Okay, so has any of our teachers given you a reality check here in the list?
Yeah, there are.
So, okay. Can you name examples? When was that?
So like history teacher, I thought I know all the dates, but when I wrote the test, he said that I am not so good.
Okay. So girls always want to be inspired in this single sex department.
So yeah, some parents do let their kids go to single-sex schools, but others are strictly against that. Today I have a few arguments to prove that they may be right. So first of all, I think that kids should learn to deal with the opposite sex. Boys to act more mature and girls to fight and defend themselves. As brilliant boys think they are, they should think again. And what about criticism? No place is ever safe from criticism. I just think that boys and girls should learn to deal with their problems together, because I promise it will come in handy in their future. Secondly, you said that girls are a distraction and that it is such a bad thing that there actually is a difference between how girls and boys learn. But maybe the outperformance of girls will trigger the willingness for boys to try harder and get better marks, because I believe that it does, bother them more to lose to the female side than to each other. And they should try learning from each other. What about much higher standards? Okay, so those do have higher standards, but I think that separating them they would just become even more stereotypical. And if some parent thinks that his kid is so shy and not confident enough, they should know that sending them to a single-sex school would not be called fixing the problem. It would just be a good idea at the moment, because everything could turn around at the future, and the habits of being shy and not speaking out for himself could badly affect his future career, job, or employment. So I think that it's better to overcome your fears in front of both boys and girls. To sum up, I would like to say that the biggest difference between girls and boys isn't just their gender, it's their character too. And sending them to single-sex schools would not only take away the curve of learning with each other, it would also help them with their achievements, future career, or job. It would just be the 1950s all over again.
Okay, and before we sum up the discussion about our school, maybe some guests would like to give questions to the students.
Yes, I would like to ask, I'm Ivan from Estonia, and I would like to ask about this. Any of you can just answer me, like, how long do you prepare for this?
How long? When did we start preparing?
What is the day?
2 to 3 days before.
Well, the teachers usually tell us about a week before the test, but we usually start preparing about 2 nights before, or even the day last.
Any other questions? Okay, so the teacher can you sum?
As we all heard that when it comes to the KJG exams and the homeworks have a lot of plus and minus, but I think that this debate let us understand what we have in the school, and we start appreciate what we have. And but I think now we just had time to realize it
We're going to listen more. Thanks a lot, kids.